Yo, what's up, dudes? It's your boy Scotty Smooth, and man, we have a lot of changes in Wonderlands, a lot of updates, over a couple hundred actually, and of course, we are going to be talking a lot about that and have a lot to cover. I'm not going to go over all of the changes just because I don't want you guys sitting here for 30 minutes going over all the bullet points in the patch notes, but I will leave a link in the description below to the patch notes if you do want to go check out anything that I missed. Of course, we're going to be covering the more important things, new chaos levels, new gear, new chaos chamber updates, lucky dice updates, a lot of things in this video, so be sure to stick around. And of course, if this does help you out, be sure to hit the thumbs up, sub to the channel for some more. Let's jump into it. So we're going to start off with just some of kind of the main changes, the main overall changes. The first thing I want to talk about is the lucky dice being actually tracked per profile instead of actually per character. Huge change, huge update. For example, if you had two characters, maybe you got all the lucky dice on one character, max that out, but you wanted to start a second character, or you're downloading someone's game save and you don't have all the dice you did on that first character, then you're not going to get as high of a loot chance, a loot drop. But now it's actually going to be per profile, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about grinding lucky dice throughout the game per each character. It's going to transfer for your profile, so that is a huge update, a huge change. You can also rename pets at the character quick change stations. I know that's another big one. A lot of people wanted to have the chance to rename their pets, so that option is there now. Pretty cool update. The chaos tiers are going up to level 35, and you will also get Primordial gear. Primordial. I don't know how the hell to pronounce that, but you're going to get Primordial gear starting at chaos level 35. So of course we have the normal gear, the chaotic, the volatile, now Primordial. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below how the hell to pronounce that. But you are going to get a new gear set starting at chaos tier 35, and now that limit has been bumped up to 35. Is it too soon to level that up to 35? You know what, I would say so, just because there's a lot of people still trying to grind to Chaos 20. However, with the new DLC coming out, of course, having that tier up to 35 is going to be good to get that done before the DLC comes out. That way we don't have to farm multiple times and grind the gear for level 35 tier if they updated it later down the road. So this is actually a good update. I like that. I haven't played 35 or haven't even played past 20 at the moment, but we will grind to 35, and hopefully that won't be a pain in the ass. The enemy waves in chaos chambers are actually going to start spawning sooner to give fate makers more targets at once. So if you guys are watching the gameplay, you can see here that there are actually, every time we do enter the chaos chambers, there are quite a bit of enemies that are spawning, a lot more than normal, and that's something that they have been updated. They wanted to make sure that there are more enemies at first, instead of you killing one or two enemies, waiting for like 10-15 seconds, another one spawns, killing that, waiting another 10-15 seconds. So it's going to be a really cool change, allows you to kind of bust through these chaos dungeons a lot quicker, so definitely really cool there. The moon orb currency has been adjusted. The increase limit is now from 4,000 up to 16,000 moon orbs. So if you haven't re-rolled for, I don't know, a few runs and you've gotten more than 4,000 moon orbs, that has actually increased now to 16,000. I know that was kind of a little bit of a pain if you've hit 4,000 moon orbs and it just kind of stuck there. You know, you didn't really need to use them, but you were only able to re-roll the enchantments a couple times because it'll hit that 4,000 limit. Now it's changed, 16,000, makes it a lot better. Also, single moon orb drops are now worth 20 instead of 10, and then the moon orb stacks are worth 80 instead of 40, so they doubled the drop. So for example, if you see one moon orb on the ground, it's going to be 20 and count for 20 moon orbs as opposed to 10. If you see a stack of moon orbs drop from a boss, then it would be 80 moon orbs as opposed to 40. So I like that change as well. But with that change, it does state that the moon orb stacks are going to be a little bit less likely to drop as opposed to single orbs. So they did kind of take the drop rate on the moon orb stacks a little bit. The final chest in the Chaos Chambers Endless Dungeon will also drop 14 moon orb stacks. So that's something to keep in mind if you guys are trying to farm those. But lastly, the reroll costs are actually going to take account into the rarity gear. so it'll cost more moon orbs to reroll legendary weapons as opposed to other weapons, so also keep that in mind. There were also some reported crashes that I'll put on the screen here if you guys want to pause the video and check that out. I won't really go into it because there's a lot of console stuff, a lot of Xbox only stuff, so definitely just pause the screen if you want to see the rare crashes that have came up, but those are all fixed. There are also a lot of other performance related issues, and this list goes on forever, so I'm not going to post that on the screen here. There's probably about 100 changes, honestly, 50 to 100, so I'll put again the link in the description below if you guys do want to check out the exact fixes that they had done. Weekly event, and this is going to be from April 21st through April 28th. The activated in-game mini-event is Cosmetic Collectors, which gives the bosses an increased chance to drop cosmetics. So if you guys are trying to farm face gear, armor colors, headgear, whatever, you guys can do that this week and actually get quite a bit of cosmetic drops. And honestly, like, I went through the chamber once and I probably got like 10 different cosmetic drops, honestly. So that mini event again goes until April 28th. And of course, we also do have a featured run this week. This run features Lance and the Frost King. Those two bosses will have an upped chance of dropping their legendary loot, so if you are going for their legendary loot, be sure to go into the featured run, farm them. It is an extended run from what I've seen, so be sure to go in, kill them, and get the loot if you guys are wanting to do that. Just a couple notes here before we get into the class adjustments. They patched a couple holes in the rocks of Mount Craw. The Dragon Lord Spectral Wyvern actually is able to now regen the Dragon Lord Shield, which might be a little tough. Of course, some of you beasts out there will be like, that ain't shit, but some of us that actually are a little, we're all right, okay, are going to have a little bit of trouble with that. The Ice Spike spell has actually been adjusted as well to deal damage to individual targets once per cast, but it shouldn't stop other ice spikes from doing damage. There was also a fixed issue where Zomboss's minions weren't showing up for the fight. I haven't came across that part, but of course, if you guys have, that should be fixed as well. There are two class adjustments for both Berserker and Clawbringer, which kind of had a slow start with Wonderlands. It really wasn't the best start for these particular classes, but they did both get a buff, which is super awesome. So if you guys do have a Berserker or Clawbringer, definitely really cool changes here. With the Berserker, there's an increase in Dreadwind's damage as it scales with higher levels by 28%. And then there's also a UI concern with the melee frequency appearing incorrectly on the HUD. So, I mean, that's not too bad, but it does increase the Dreadwind's damage. So that'll be a super cool buff to the Berserker. And then the Clawbringer, even more things with the Clawbringer. Increased damage radius of Cleansing Flames melee, removed cooldown for Storm Smite skill, increased Storm Smite's damage as it scales with higher levels by 50%, improved targets for Storm Smite, removed Storm Smite's delay between the Puddle and Lightning Bolt spawning. Now, I don't have either of these classes. I run a Stabomancer's Spell Shot build, so I will definitely dive into more Berserker or Clawbringer type builds because they do have a buff. They are relevant now. I know a lot of people were a little annoyed, frustrated that some of these other builds were a lot better, a lot more damage heavy, but now they finally get the buff that they deserve, and you guys, if you do have these builds, are going to be doing a lot more damage, getting a lot out of those. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helps you out. That's going to be it for this. Of course, if you have any questions, concerns, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what your thoughts are on this update. We'll have more Wonderlands videos. Expect a video like this every week with the updates, because I know they're looking to do weekly updates, so be sure to sub up to the channel if you guys are wanting more of that content. But as always, I appreciate you for stopping by, and I hope this video makes your day a little bit better. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.